Okay, looks like plants are growing really good. I see a third pair of leaves starting to come out of these things now. A little over, or sorry, just a little under 2 weeks. Transplanted these guys. Some of them have really big leaves. It's kind of nice. This is why bigger pots are necessary. They're growing really well. So keeping an eye on them, making sure no pests get in the garage here. They're growing under this green light, or greenhouse type of light, shade. It's really good for gentle sunlight so they don't get blasted and fall over and wilt. And at the same time, it keeps a lot of the pests out. But because there's not really much good circulation in here, what I have to do is I have to use this fan. And basically, I just turn this on once a day. Get that going on the lowest setting. And I just set it a little distant from the plants. Set it right there. And basically just kind of circulating this little corner of the garage. That way they don't get any mold build up. They get a nice little breeze. Helps their stems resist once they get outside so that they don't just collapse under the wind. So I'll leave these guys alone and let's get to replanting those bigger ones outside. All right, a little unorthodox, but today I'm gonna try to use charcoal at the very bottom of the planters that I'm using in order to get the drainage that I need. I don't have enough rocks and pebbles, and wood tends to be a good source, but I want to get something that won't mold, which charcoal will do a good job at that. So I'm just going to put a thin layer, I'm not going to use that much, on the bottom of each pot. Alright, so as you can see, as I'm putting it in, I'm putting just enough to cover a thin layer on the bottom. I'm gonna get closer there. Yeah. I'm not building up some thick, gravel type of thing. I really just want to get the drainage going at the bottom. I don't want the soil to compact around this area where it needs to drain. So I'm putting an adequate amount, but not so much that it smothers, or I should say, that it leaves this big gaping gaps. So that way, when the water goes down, it has a path of escape instead of accumulating, and a little bit of air room down there. That way the roots know it's time to stop growing deep, so that way they don't try to grow out of the pot. All right, the next step is going to be getting enough soil in here so that it doesn't just collapse down in there when I transplant the old plant, the one that's sitting outside. So I want to put a good thin layer of soil on top, and let me show you what that looks like when it's done. So there it is, the soil's been placed on top, just enough to cover the charcoal pieces. I'm not trying to press it down and compact it, that'll defeat the whole purpose of this charcoal. But basically you just want to get a good layer so that way the roots don't touch directly onto the charcoal, if there are any exposed roots that I'll see. And this will serve as our foundation for putting the plant in here. So out of all the plants that I have, first one looks pretty good. Second one, third one, not so tough. Fourth and fifth, quite vigorous. That one back there, I think might be dead. But anyway, I'm not gonna waste my time transplanting that little one back there. If anything, I'll choose one of the bigger ones, the ones that look like they need more room for growth. So, out of these three larger ones right now, this one has the most height. It's got a nice stem going straight up. This one looks like it's already pruned. It's kind of got a V shape going on top. That one might be good for fruit, but as far as a deep root, I'm gonna go with the straightest and the tallest, so I'm gonna go with this one right here. Okay, let's see how we did. See, I already added the eggshells. Nice thick layer for this one, because I actually don't have any rocks to cover like for the rest. I'm gonna have to buy some of those. It's definitely an investment to make. So for now, using the eggshells as a mulch. The plant transferred really good. I don't know if you saw tons of roots. That thing was outgrowing its pot, so it was time for it to get in the bigger one. And you can see the size difference now is clearly obvious that it needed the space. So now I'm gonna water it, get those roots comfortable with the new soil. Repeating the process here with the other 5 containers that I got. Putting charcoal at the bottom. Then I'm gonna fill them up with dirt. Okay, so now it is nighttime, 2 days later. So the pots are still here, ready to go. So we held this off for 2 days. Now we're gonna get back to it. Now over here, we have our apple trees. Again, you can see they are growing really well in these larger pots. Again, for comparison, see that one back there? Wasn't transferred to a larger pot, still kind of small. This one, we saw it right next to it before. It's blossoming like crazy. It's got 1, 2, 3 sets of leaves now. And the rest of them are looking really, really good. It's really solid. And of course, I keep checking to make sure that it's moist in there. We don't want to overwater it, but we also don't want to underwater it. So just kind of pick it up. You can kind of feel the weight of it, if there's enough water inside or not. It'll feel, a lot more dense, where it'll kind of feel like you're picking up styrofoam if it's not well watered, if it's starting to dry out. And of course the other method, but I wouldn't recommend it for these tiny little pots. You can kind of stick your finger in there, feel if the soil's wet. I won't risk it with these because the pots are so small. I would probably end up digging up some of those roots when I try to do that. So for me, I just go by the weight of the pot. That's one way to do it. It's a little less accurate, but at the same time, we don't want to disrupt the root systems down there. So just taking it up, give it a little shake. You can kind of feel, if it feels like styrofoam, it's time to give it some water. If you feel a little weight in there, that means it's got adequate water. We can hold off from watering for a while. All right, but enough of these little guys. I promised you that we would pot the bigger ones outside, so let's get back out to those. All right, so back out in front of the planters, and as you can see, this one that I planted the other day is holding up pretty good. And now I place these pots in front of these plants that I'm going to transfer. So one here, second one here. This one's doing pretty decent. It's not as tall as the other ones, but the leaves are much more broad and it shows signs of actually expanding out. So I'm gonna definitely place this one in a bigger pot. This one, as well as the one way down there, I'll show you really quick. This little skinny guy over here, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of dark right now, but not really growing many leaves. And then this one, yeah, I mean, it's growing high, but I don't see much branching out. It's not giving me a lot of hope that it's gonna grow into a nice flourishing plant. I would much rather go with this one. Got a lot of breath here. This one actually has new leaves growing on it as well. This one, the top, it seems like whatever was coming out here stopped growing. So even though the plant is alive, it's not really flourishing like I want it to. So I'm not gonna move it to a bigger pot yet until I figure out what to do with it. But then this one's looking pretty good. This definitely needs a bigger pot. So we got 1, 2, third one's already planted. This would be the 4th over here. And it's better to pick them out earlier than later, because you don't want to waste, once they get put in the ground, you don't want to waste that space on a bad plant. So we're going to keep the ones that are growing really well. The ones that aren't, we'll see. We'll keep them, of course we'll keep watering them and see if they turn up into anything. But as for right now, we're just going to stick with the ones that are actually showing good progress. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer these plants into the bigger pots. And I'll be right back. Okay, so got the second one, just like that one over there, in the bigger pot. It's a little bit more messy than I would have liked because the roots weren't as deep on this one, and go figure, because the other plant's actually a lot taller. So if you look there. But yeah, so this plant was transferred over. We're gonna wait a few days, of course, afterward, see how it does. Got the eggshells for the mulch under it. And yep, a lot of leftover soil though, because it didn't go as deep as the other one. So I might recycle some of this. I know, you're probably shaking your head. Don't do it. Use new soil, but I don't want to lose out on this. This looks pretty good. It's got a lot of rainwater nutrition in it too over the past few months. So I want to transfer this probably over to this other pot if I need more soil underneath the plant. And yeah, we'll finish this up here. Yeah, let me go ahead and speed through this and I'll show you what we got at the end. Okay, so one more thing. I was a little low on soil. Actually, I am low on soil. So I'm gonna pop open one of these things here. Now, something cool you guys might wanna invest in. Scythe. I'm gonna use this to cut open that bag. It's way cooler than using a box cutter or scissors, in my opinion. It makes it a lot more fun to open these kind of things up. Let me just show you. This thing's pretty sharp too. Get it in there. Cuts right through. Look at that. Yeah. I'm gonna open that up and get the soil out. That thing's a little stubborn. Go figure. Plastic bag. All right, there we go. The sickle was a success. Got the bag open. Ugh, seems to be some mosquitoes in there, but it's all good. We'll get rid of those. Oh, geez, they're actually attacking me right now. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna transfer these plants and get inside the house because I'm getting bitten up out here. So here we are, all the graduates getting into their bigger pots. It is complete. Went ahead and mulched them with some eggshells. Transfer was good, added extra soil. They should now be able to grow much bigger. A few inches makes a big difference with these plants. As far as getting down deeper into the soil, they can get more water, more nutrition. These pots can hold more. These things will sprout nice and big. So hopefully next time I see you guys, we'll see the progress that these have made. And give it about probably a week or two before we see any changes, because they need to get their roots down there and establish themselves. I'm gonna water these after I turn off the camera here, but it's pretty late, so time to hit the sack, get some sleep. I will see you guys next time.